Hello, I'm Janine Maxon, Vice President of External Affairs and Corporate Counsel for Americans United for Life. And today I am standing at the doorstep of the abortion clinic in Philadelphia that was owned by Kermit Gosnell. This abortion clinic is located at 3801 Lancaster Street. And Lancaster Street is a busy street. You can probably hear the cars going by us in the background. But what was going on inside this abortion clinic was done in secret. When the raid was conducted on this abortion clinic, they found fetal body parts inside jars. They found the bodies of dead babies who had had their necks snapped from behind. And they found and heard testimony of women who had been brutalized inside this supposed clinic. I'm here with my colleagues from Americans United for Life to attend the closing arguments in the Kermit Gosnell trial. We are hoping that justice will be done in this case. But the reality is that justice in our nation will never be done until every woman and child is protected from the House of Horrors conditions, similar to what went on inside Gosnell's clinic. Gosnell is not the exception. Every state in this country should regulate abortion clinics in the same way that they regulate ambulatory surgical centers. And every state should pass an Infants Born Alive Protection Act so that abortionists are held accountable if they do not provide life-saving care for infants that are born alive. I thank you for your support of Americans United for Life and your continued support in this great cause. Thank you.
We heard the review of some earlier testimony that was truly shocking. The plumber testified that the plumbing was clogged by pieces of dead babies that had been put through the garbage disposal. There was also testimony about a teenage girl who had been given no counseling, did not have a waiting period. Her abortion was on that same day. And when she asked if she could hold her baby or at least find out her baby's sex, Dr. Gosnell allegedly replied, "If you're a good girl, maybe I'll tell you the sex." And just these little anecdotes demonstrate such callousness and hardness of heart that it was really challenging to be in the same room as this person and realize that who he is and what he represents.
I believe my generation is the most pro-life generation because we have lived with 40 years of legalized abortion. And as we've learned with the closing arguments of Dr. Kermit Gosnell, this is the true back alley abortion. This is not an isolated incident. We have learned of a clinic in Delaware, a Planned Parenthood, an organization that prides itself on being protectors and advocates of women's health, when they have found and had former workers come out and talk about the atrocious conditions within the walls of that clinic.
Americans United for Life has been at the forefront of helping to prevent the next Kermit Gosnell in a number of ways. First of all, we have put forward protections for infants who are born alive after failed abortions so that their necks cannot be cut, so that they cannot be hidden away in a closet until they die. They must be given appropriate medical care to give them the maximum chance of survival. We've also put forward legislation involving clinic regulations. One of the major themes of this trial has been that this abortion center was completely decrepit, with instruments being reused, cats running around, cat feces and urine, blood left on the tables. I mean, just truly disgusting. And we have been at the forefront of making sure that these regulations are in place and that they are actually adhered to and that they are enforced. One of the major problems in this case was that Gosnell Center was not inspected for over a decade. And Americans United for Life is putting forward that legislation that will make regular surprise inspections mandatory.